Hey everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. Guys, this is the last week of June coming up, this Wednesday, and we got a lot of stuff coming in the summer. As you guys saw in the weekly comic book haul, there are major announcements there. Just want to throw that out at the beginning of this video. Check that out for more information. Now, the books we're reviewing in this episode were released on June 18th, 2014. And guys, this was a short week. Not only for DC, but for Marvel. DC, we had a little bit less than Marvel, but honestly, nothing really stood out for me with DC this week, and that's kind of a shocker, because usually there's at least one book that's really good, and this week things kind of fell to the average or below average, and that's sad. For example, Supergirl issue number 32. The whole issue is the cover. It's Supergirl versus the World Killer, and the World Killer was created by her father. I only remember this because there was a whole thing on the origin, or there was a mention of it somewhere. But it's basically just Kara fighting. Tons of internal dialogue. Her struggle with the Red Lantern ring. Apparently now the Earth is completely poisoned with kryptonite, like it's going around all the other books. And we find out, spoiler alert, that the World Killer is, it's a symbiote, it's not a person, and it wishes to bond with Kara. And it kind of ends with it attempting to bond with her. And Kara's still a Red Lantern, it says. It's concluded next month, so let's see if Kara ends up keeping the Red Lantern ring. We all know she doesn't, because you just read Justice League United, and she's completely okay. So she's going to be one of the first Lanterns in history to have, Red Lantern, to have gained and lost it in less than a couple of months. After that, I have no clue if I'm going to be interested in Supergirl anymore. To be honest, I might wait till September, just because they have, the one-shots coming out. But Supergirl does not look like it's going too far, too fast. Anyway. And then actually in this issue... Oh, never mind.
Oh. Okay.
So next is yours.
Yep. Scribblenauts Unmasked issue number 6. This was my favorite comic book for this week. And I will explain why. Apparently, Zod now is out of the Phantom Zone and wants to take over. I like this part here, like from Superman 2, would you care to step outside and then come kneel before Zod and everything. The artwork is really amazing, and it's Maxwell and the team versus Zod and Lobo and the other people. And basically, Brainiac saying that since General Zod was using the fort as his base operations, it was once a Kryptonian prison that was using the Phantom Zone. So now Batman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, and the rest of them are now Phantoms, and Maxwell draws these things to bring all of them back to life, like Wonder Woman with the rope, Batman with the Bruce Wayne of himself, and the rest. Like, it was really like something really amazing to see there. And then we get into some serious. I like this of like a Where's Waldo thing, where you have to find Maxwell, which I found him already. He was like right there. And then there's a little bit of a fight between Superboy and Robin, where Superman and Batman break it up, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on with the Phantoms. Oh, actually, the Shadows. My mistake. The Shadows that are there, and it's the whole thing about the Anti-Monitor that wants to take over. So now it's up to Maxwell and the team to get rid of the Anti-Monitor's army that is about to appear for future issues. So
there's 3 issues until the end. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it one bit. This should be ongoing, DC, because this is awesome, but
the game can only last so long, Mike.
It could.
Next one's yours, too.
This actually picked up in a great way, and I'm surprised. Red Hood and the Outlaws, issue number 32. And in this comic book, first of all, this is a different cover.
Bombshell cover.
A bombshell cover. And in this issue, It like talks about a new villain that's going to be part of the Red Hood and the Outlaws, and you have Jason Todd, Arsenal, and Starfire. I was gonna say that. Who are going after this guy who is sending out the army, and love the artwork, by the way. There's a nuke that's being sent out where Starfire like saves it and stuff like that, and I just want to ask you something. Starfire has feelings for Arsenal, but I thought she was with Jason Todd unless they broke up in...
They broke up.
They did break up in other issues. That's what I thought. And, yeah, so with that, they're just trying to, you know, like they want to go home and everything, but then there's like this whole battle that happens like out of nowhere, and they've been there's like this weird looking spaceship here that they found that's of something else. And if you want to find out more, you could definitely read the book. But Starfire went inside and she found out something that can basically destroy their friendship or something. So whatever Starfire found out, I'm really interested to find out what's going to be in the next issue. Because for her to go, you know, a little wonky in the end, that means she found out something really, really bad that could lead to that. So we'll find out in the next issue then.
Here it is, the lead-in to Robin Reborn, Batman and Ra's al Ghul, issue 32. The whole beginning of this book is an exchange of words between Ra's al Ghul and Batman. This is the only Batman book this week that was really at least good, as in an average 3.5. After the words are exchanged between Ra's al Ghul and Batman, basically Ra's wants to hurt Batman by taking his son and Talia, erasing their memories, and having them stand by his side while they destroy Batman and take over the world. Huge fight breaks out. Long story short, Batman gets Damian's sarcophagus back. However, Ra's al Ghul breaks free, and this was, again, we get more dialogue between Batman and Ra's al Ghul, which I like. It shows how, even though Joker is Batman's arch nemesis, the dynamics to Batman versus Ra's al Ghul, there is nothing stronger.
I never thought that they'd actually team up, both him and Ra's al Ghul, because weren't they not on the same
page? They didn't
page?
team up, they're fighting each other.
Oh, it said N. I thought that.
It doesn't matter. Just they're just throwing it in there just because.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as they fought each other, because that would be weird if they teamed up.
So a second fight breaks out between Ra's al Ghul and Batman, and then I'm going to show the last page because we all know this is going towards Robin Rises Omega. Red Dawn is going into Apocalypse because, well, not Red Dawn, but the Batman End series is going into Apocalypse with the next issue, as we all knew, because it involved Robin Reborn and it was going to involve Apocalypse. So, all in all, I like the dialogue between Ra's al Ghul and Batman. I loved the artwork in this book, and like I said, it's setting up to bring Damian Wayne Robin back at some point. So, again, quick read, and here you go.
Trios and Pandora issue number 12 is Pandora versus now Vintel Savage, and I'm going to explain something about this book of why it was an okay issue. And I'm going to be a little bit nitpicky on one category, but I'll get to that, you know, after that. There is a spoiler alert, or if it hasn't been a spoiler, Marcus dies in this issue at the hands of Vintel Savage.
Vindel
Savage? That was Vindel. Oh yeah, Vintel Savage, yeah. So Pandora actually fights against him and teams up with, I forgot what her name was. I'm trying to get like a good page. Like, the artwork was really amazing for this issue. And he just breaks out of every attack, every which way, and then the woman that was from the last issue, the one that turns into a crow, I think her name was like, she's part of Shade, Agent Kincaid. that was her name. She fights against him, and yeah, things get a little bit too like it just gets violent in this book. Like Vindel Savage is just really like with these women. I mean, I'm gonna be nitpicky though. I am not really like a fan of seeing like a guy facing two women. I mean, I thought of it as being, you know, like, I don't know. But then here's the good thing that comes in this issue. Giganta actually comes in and throws Vindel Savage all the way up in the air, and I'm like saying that's something good in this issue. But let's just say things don't look so well for Pandora for the next issue. Because basically Kincaid's gonna have to like reverse something with the gun to try to help Pandora out. But yeah, just that one nitpicky thing was a little but when Giganta came in, I'm like saying that's the hero of the book. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah.
Now we're going into the 2 weeklies, and I'm gonna go really quick with this one because this one is the most disappointing this week. Batman Eternal issue 11. I couldn't read it. You want to know why I couldn't read it? I'm going to show you why, because I purposely didn't show you why. You know what? I'm going to let Mike look through it. Go ahead. Open the book.
Okay.
Now, just remember, the cover art is not the art that's in this book.
Okay. So, you just want me to turn the... What the hell is...
Just turn the pages, you know? Just... You know Cloudy?
What is this?
You know Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs? Yeah, that's what I was...
What is this?
I don't know. The dynamics in artwork change.
Yeah.
Especially with Bug Woman over here. The book focuses on Batgirl. And Red Hood and the Outlaws following Batgirl to protect her. There's a small piece with Spoiler in here. Stephanie Brown. And then there's a small piece of Batman.
Oh my god, seriously?
Yeah, that's Batgirl.
How much bigger you want to make her eyes?
I don't know. But Batman and Catwoman have a moment at the very end of the book, and that's it. And I hope, I mean, no offense to the artist, it didn't fit. It didn't fit this book. It didn't fit this book. I could see this artwork fitting in a couple other books, but right now, where Batman Eternal was the artwork you see on this cover, I opened the book, and when I saw the second page, I should say, I was little in shock. I mean, it's a very...
Did they change the artist?
Yes. It's a different dynamic completely, and it took me for a loop. I mean, this artwork is not something I'm used to seeing with Batman Eternal. I mean, we're 11 issues in, and I couldn't read this. I really couldn't. The artwork just threw me completely for a loop.
I got halfway through the book and I gave it to you because I couldn't stand it.
I was thrown for a loop, so I really... You know, I got the concept of the book, and I'm sure I lost out on a couple of points, but I just couldn't read it. I mean, the artwork was such a humongous, drastically different style from what we're used to seeing in Batman Eternal, that it's like, what happened? I mean, I'm sure everybody was complaining about the artwork in the previous couple of issues. If this is going to be the artwork in the series for a while, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't buy it either.
And it's no insult to the artist, it's just...
It doesn't fit this book.
No, especially after the first two artists that came before him. It's like, what? There was also a moment with Alfred and his daughter. Alfred's trying to rekindle things with his daughter. His daughter wants nothing to do with him. However, in the end she has to stay because her stitches are bleeding out, so she can't really leave. But that was the weaker of the weekly series. We go back to Future's End, issue number 7, however, and we get to see a little bit more with Firestorm, literally only about 2 pages, with one with Jason and one with Ronnie. Frankenstein is fighting Black Adam in the Phantom Zone, who's gone crazy because he was trapped in the Phantom Zone, and he escapes, you know, barely. And then we see the destruction of Stormwatch, where the ship exploded and you see everybody floating in space, and that's kind of creepy. Lois Lane gets confronted by Madison Payne, who's Tim Drake, who is now going by Cal Cocord, however you pronounce his last name. And she wants to know why Lois thinks that Cal is Tim. We all know it is Tim. And she knows that Lois is probably right because every time she tries to talk about the past with him, he kind of avoids it. And then we find out a little bit more about her. Read the book to find out what. Then we get the Firestorm stuff. We get to see Deathstroke. And this is the part with, what's his name? Grifter, who's joining the team. He's supposed to be with this young girl. And it's like, okay. That was the part where I was kind of the most bored. Mr. Terrific actually confronts Terry, who actually, he says, I know you're not a bum because you just walked over a $50 bill. Little bit of a fight ensues. A tiny fight, literally. And Terry actually has to escape before getting the parts to the android that followed him from the future. And now Mr. Terrific's very interested in what he's seeing. And that's basically the gist of the book. This book, however, was way better than Batman Eternal. The artwork is really good. A story, definitely interesting, but again, taking baby steps instead of really making a huge progress forward. Because right now all we have is Batman running, Firestorm is still somewhere in the book, Grifter can walk again, but he's in this group. And we've just now arrived at Stormwatch with the Atom. Where Stormwatch was. Hopefully the next issue will progress a bit more, but definitely a solid read. After what happened in Batman Eternal, like I said, Future's End issue number 7 definitely is the stronger of the two this week. And that's all we got for this week, guys. A very short week from DC Comics. Very quick reads for me. I mean, I finished not only DC, but I finished Marvel in about 2 hours. Usually it takes me a couple more than just 2 hours to read my books, but this week it's a fast week, and obviously with DC, because I couldn't read Batman Eternal, that was definitely a bit of a save. But that's it. So guys, thank you so much for checking out this review. Don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, and Zone4Podcast.com. Together we are your #1 source for comic related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And until the next review, guys, which next will be Marvel, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you in the next review. Take care, everybody.
Later, guys.